What's up, you guys? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on Dress to Kill / the Daily Grind, we're going to be taking a look at the newest cosmetics pack that has been dropped with today's hotfix, and that, of course, is the Ceramica collection. Now, as you can see here, it includes the Ceramica armor, as well as a skin for the Pandero, and a universal skin for the Tonfa. However, after that, I also wanted to go ahead and address a Devworkshop that Rebecca actually had posted up a little bit earlier that kind of ties in with all of the cosmetics that we're seeing. But let's go ahead and start off with first things first. So as you can see, the Ceramica collection is 260 plats altogether, and while a lot of it is kind of like non-threatening, you know, it's very, very simple. There's nothing too crazy about it. I think the real star of the show is the Tonfa skin here, and it's I looked at it and was like, you literally blew this whole section away. And that is actually for 115 plat on its own, if that's what you're looking for. I believe that the Pandero is also 115 on its own, and the armor bundle is 100 altogether. So that's a little bit more expensive than picking it up in the bundle. If you like at least two of the pieces here, definitely pick up the collection as opposed to get them individually. So let's go ahead and jump on in and take a look at our Atlas right now. Now, if I'm going to be honest with you, the armor set is pretty, like, non-threatening. There's nothing really too crazy about it. It's not going to jump out at you. It's metallics. If I can even call them metallics, I'm, like, looking very, very hard because, as you can see here, the metallics are kind of, like, set in these oh, whoops, wrong one, attachments. And then here, you can see that there's just these little rivets in them. So it's not going to be something that's going to be overly obtrusive. There is one texture that's slightly different than the rest, which is the chest texture, which you can see here. It's just a little bit shinier than the rest, but even that is very, very subtle. So if you're looking for just something that's not necessarily going to overpower any of the other cosmetics that you have on a Warframe, like maybe you have a really crazy SANDR, or you're sporting really, like, over-the-top colors, this is something that can kind of just sink in. It's not going to overtake the look like some of the other pieces armor, some of the other armor pieces out there will. And I think it totally has its place for those of you guys who don't necessarily want to be over the top. I want to go ahead and show how this looks on my Loki Prime. So as you can see, it's not over the top, it's not crazy, it's not taking over the show, but it definitely has its place. The only thing that I have an issue with, and this seems to be a recurring issue with just many items in general, the chest pieces have some odd positioning on certain frames, like some of the female frames, because you know they got boobages, and it's hard to figure out where to place it. It's a pretty chunky chest piece, so sometimes it can fit a little bit odd on certain ones, but where you can kind of make it work, it does look nice on. Again, not overly obtrusive, but it's one of those things that you can easily leave out as well. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the Pandero skin, which really reminds me of is it the Corvus? It's the Arcwing shotgun. I was like, this looks very, very much like the Arcwing shotgun. However, it's a nice take. As you guys know, the Pandero is very metallic-y. It's very kind of wiry. Let's go ahead and take a look at, like, you know, without the skin. Let's just look at it on its own. It's still a really, really gorgeous gun, and it's definitely a different take on it. But this is just a little bit more subtle. And as soon as I heard the collection's name, I was like, oh, it's the Ceramica collection. I knew that this was going to be a little bit more matted down. It's not going to be too in your face and too crazy. So I was like, a part of me was like, ooh, how am I going to like this? I don't usually like the ceramic collections or any of the collections that look very clay-like. Not super duper into, but for those of you guys who like a little bit of a showstopper, I'm gonna have you saying, oh my, because we did equip this on the Oma so that you guys know it is universal. But look at that Tonfa skin. What, like, okay, so there's a part of me, I'm just gonna put it out there, right? Look at the detailing on the head of the Tonfa skin. That is some good shit right there. That looks real good. And a part of me is kind of like, Pandero, why are you looking like an appetizer? Like, I won't even say, like, you know, we could say, like, they look like a snack, but I'm not even saying, like, it's like breadsticks. You know, it's like the Kraft breadsticks, but no cheese to dip it into. A part of me is like, I mean, it's subtle. I get it. That's what we're trying to keep in tune with the whole set. Like, subtle. Everything is subtle. The gun is subtle. But you get to the Tonfa skin and you're like, what? How'd you throw it down like that? Because that looks super dope. The detailing on it is absolutely nuts. And I suggest if you guys are maybe not into the rest of the outfit. Maybe it is a little too tame for you. At least pick this one up, because for me, this is like, I took one look at it and I was like, oh shit, that looks super sick. And I hope we see, like, I hope we see more of this type, because it's kind of like, you know, you look at this like here, it's like, oh, it's subtle, you know, it's got some metallics on the tips, and you turn it to the side and you're like, blam, the metallics are right there. I was like, I enjoy that. I enjoy that very thoroughly. So that is definitely one of the things that I'm gonna highly suggest. Also, at the same time, one of the things that I kind of want to ask the rest of you guys, because for me, I think a lot of people know that if I don't have an armor piece that is necessarily gonna make an impact or complement the skin well, I'll usually leave it off. But my challenge for you guys is let me know where you think the Ceramica collection, just the standard armor pieces, would fit well on. Because for me, I feel kind of like if you're a little bit of a more dull frame, like, you know, some of the originals, like just this plain old Excalibur, or even just the simple mag skins, like those might be too simple, and this isn't gonna offer enough of a pop. You know, you need like an Edo Prime or like the Atavist Prime to kind of like really give it a little bit of an oomph. So I was kind of like testing this around with some other looks, and for me, I couldn't really find a place where I wanted to put it. So you guys let me know in the comment section below if you pick up the Ceramica collection, where you guys are really enjoying it. Because for me, for now, I'm like, it's maybe just a little too subtle for my taste, except for that Tonfa skin. That Tonfa skin is fucking gorgeous. Now, the next thing that I wanted to go ahead and move on to is actually an article, and I'll go ahead and link it in the description box. And this one is actually a post from DE Rebecca called This Year So Far. And what it's addressing, it's a very kind of like, what's the word I want to say? It's kind of a nebulous title, so we don't really know what we're talking about, but this definitely ties into the whole cosmetic situation that we've been seeing. So I figured I'll go ahead and read it for you, because, you know, I'll read you some shit that you probably ain't gonna read yourself. Just keep you in the know. But this is what Rebecca had posted. Maybe you've noticed, maybe you haven't, but this year so far has been a bit different. While Fashion Frame has seen no shortage of content, something is different. We haven't released a single new weapon or Warframe yet this year. Korra soon, TM? Which is why I laughed at all of those 2018 Warframe videos. I'm like, y'all, nothing came out. Calm yourself down. Anyway, this Devworkshop, which is more of a diary entry, is just to briefly provide some context to what we've released. You may find yourself asking, when are we getting new Nintendo reinforcements? And you might want a more detailed answer than soon. So far this year, we have revisited and iterated on more content than ever before. We've made cuts, changes, usability of content, revision of systems, and adjusted a significant amount of weapons and warframes. Yes, you certainly have. We've done this because in many ways you wanted us to. Reviewing all of the update notes since our first 2018 deployment on PC on January 4th, it's a bit mental how much we've changed. Now, this is, you know, this is me stepping in and saying, y'all have been asking for this for a long time, and I know some people are impatient. Where's Umbro? Where's Korra? Where's this? Where's that? Remember when all of those people had said, DE, we need you to come through, fix the bugs, and fix quality of life. Don't release anything else until you fixed all of that. So, now you know what that looks like. Okay, I'm just pointing this out because this is definitely something that's been there in the community, you know. Don't do anything else, just fix all the things that we need you to fix first, then you can move on to dropping new content. That's what's happening so far, and we haven't seen anything crazy in 2018 yet. So they've gone, well, we have seen crazy things, because we've seen a lot of weapon buffs, we've seen a lot of Warframe changes, there's been a lot of things like adjustments that have been happening, but not necessarily any new content. You know, we've seen well, actually we've got tier lists too and all that kind of stuff, and those arcane changes, but this is really kind of like DE saying, y'all asked for us to go through our backlog of stuff, sort through that backlog of stuff. Now we're sorting through that backlog of stuff, and I see some of y'all saying, you know, where's the new stuff? Well, you said you want us to go through all of this, so now we're going through all of this, so you can't complain. And that's the truth, because even if it wasn't you, there were people in the community that have been asking for this and saying, DE, don't do anything until you fix all of the bugs and fix all of the little, like, balance changes and tweaks and stuff like that. So they're doing what they're doing, you know, they're doing what DE does. They're listening to their community, and this time it's this part of the community's turn to, like, be addressed, right? Because everybody gets addressed one at a time. You can't, like, address the whole community at once and expect them to be glad with what your current direction is. You just gotta please one set, then move on to trying to please another set, then move on to trying to please another set. I get you, DE. I get you. I'm right there. And we plan to continue changing Kuva in the Kuva Fortress with a pending Devworkshop question, Login 2.0, focus changes. We're working on continuing our way down the list, which is, you know, the list of things that people have been asking for. So how long will it take? When will we add new gear? When will we when will the seemingly endless list of dev stream reveals release? Well, we don't know. We've gotten out of the habit of sharing dates because there was a point. We asked for that too. We're like, DE, don't tell us shit until it's ready to set, right? So they're not sharing any dates. But this post serves as a different purpose. I've just returned from vacation. Yes, honey. Thank you for going on your vacation, going and getting refreshed, playing your video games, doing whatever you gotta do. Miss Rebecca, we love it. And I myself am wondering the progress on all of the many things we've talked about. And it's simple to see one thing. We're making great progress this year. And, you know, if I'm gonna be frank, DE is one of those like companies that works on a lot of things in the background. Like, they were working on Planes of Eidolon in the background for the longest time. They work on all of these kind of different surprises. And, you know, with Venus coming up and then TennoCon coming up as well, they love to drop a lot of, like, projects that, you know, they've kind of been hush-hush about. So we don't really see all of that. And with so many big changes that are coming up, like, you know, they've addressed the dark, oh my god, what is it? The dark sectors, or what we're currently referring to as dark sectors, but aren't really replacing dark sectors. Like, it's complicated. But you know, they kind of like give us little teases of things that they are working on, but I can guarantee you at least in my heart and soul, I know there's shit going on in the background. So get ready to enjoy some 5-year anniversary celebrations this month, and we'll see you on the next dev stream, possibly earlier in this subforum with a Kuva dev workshop. Wear your sunscreen in the planes, Tenno. What's that last line about? I don't know if she's trying to tease something that's happening in the planes. Wear your sunscreen in the planes. Rebecca has this way of like teasing things, and she's usually really bad at teasing things, but you're dropping us a hint. If there's something that happens in the planes, y'all know I call that. I'm the gay Nostradamus. I'm the gay Stradamus, all right? I'm feeling like there might be something happening. But this is something that, you know, other content creators have chatted about, that there really hasn't been any new things that have come out this year. And, you know, listen, content creator, if we're just going to be real with it, that hurts the pockets a little bit. But for me, to be completely honest with you guys, it's good to see them kind of go through, sort through their files and say, let's address this, let's address this, let's address this. And I think that I know some people are getting very, very impatient. There's a part of me too that is like, where's my Cora? Get me my Cora. I need my Cora. And as much as I love Fashion Frame and all of that kind of stuff, I can only make so many Fashion Frame videos in a day without also burning myself out and being like, listen, I came up with like 2 good looks. This third look is just not working for me today. If I do any more of this, I'm gonna puke. And there's nothing wrong with Fashion Frame though, because you know, you can always play around and mess around with it. But I think some of us are craving that new year, new juice. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, ooh, let's see what Warframe's got for us this year. And right now we're just kind of getting the appetizers, but it's like, you know, it's been like, it's like a 5-course meal, and the first 4 courses are all appetizers, and we're like, come on, we're waiting for the main course, like what's happening? And it's totally fine. Like I understand where they're going with it, and it's kind of like one of those things where it's just like, I think that DE is gonna end up knocking our socks off. We just have to be patient. I have to be patient as well, because listen, I'm looking at Cora right now. I'm looking at those images of Cora, and I'm like, DE, I'm hungry. When you gonna drop this for us? Where you gonna drop this for us? But it's all about having a little bit of patience. So that about does it for this episode. I hope you guys are excited because, of course, she did point out that in March we do have, number 1, we're gonna get a new Prime, because I believe it's March 20th that the new Prime will drop. We'll also have the anniversary, which should be coming up this month. So there's some big things coming down the pipeline. It's just not happening at this moment. You know, we had to have our salad course, and we had to have our soup course. Then they're gonna drop in like our first appetizer course. We just gotta be patient for the big, hunky, juicy, meaty stuff coming down the line. So go ahead and leave all of your feelings about, this post. Let me know how you feel about the Ceramica collection down in the comments below, as well as where you would want to use it. And are you gagging for that freaking Tonfa skin? Because that Tonfa skin was beautiful. Toss that in the comments as well. And as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.